I have come to realize that taboo books are my guilty pleasure, so with that being said, let's get into this review. As always, I will leave the book and my rating here for you guys, but I recently finished Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I did read this on my Kindle and I did rate it a 5-star rating. I know this book is not for everyone, but it definitely was for me and I absolutely loved it. I do want to throw out a little disclaimer. I know this book is not for everyone, especially with the tropes, so if you're not really interested, feel free to keep scrolling. And also, I am dropping some spoilers. If you don't want to hear anything about the book, feel free to keep scrolling too. I promise I won't take it personal. So let's get into the tropes really quickly because there are some pretty interesting ones. I'm talking ex-boyfriend's dad, so obviously there is an age gap. She's 19, he's 38. This also is a forbidden romance, definitely some close proximity, and also I would say it's a slow burn romance too. The tension between the two male main characters was so intense, but obviously so because they are father and son. Cole is the son, Pike is the father, and they are both involved with the same female who's Jordan. But there also is a lot of tension between everyone, and I think that is what really got me. I could not put this book down. Pike, the father, just gives off this like passionate lover and super experienced, so of course those spicy scenes really melted me. At one point in the book, Jordan basically said she's old enough to have him and his daddy too, and I was just like, yes girl, you definitely are. Outside of all the spicy scenes, the book itself was so beautifully written. It is told from the POV of two main characters, Jordan, who's a female, and Pike, who is the father. And I personally love that because I really do feel like you get to know the characters so well, especially when you're hearing from their point of view and understanding a little bit more of not only Jordan but where Pike was coming from as being the father and also this like older man. I thought it was just so interesting to see and understand a little bit more about his internal feelings towards the whole situation, especially as it pertains to his son. Jordan's character was also super powerful. I just think after everything that she's been through, especially with her own father and then her ex-boyfriends, Pike was everything that she really needed, and he was just giving off this like not only passionate but definitely like I care about you and I want to take care of you and nurture you vibe, which I was absolutely here for. And I also do think that Jordan's attitude about men in general was just absolutely warranted, and she gives off this impression of like she's not taking any kind of crap from any guy ever. The ending of the story was so beautifully written. I will say that Penelope Douglas did an amazing job with wrapping everything up, especially the relationships with Cole and his father, and also with Cole and Jordan. I think seeing and understanding that in the end, ultimately, they were able to overcome their differences and everyone kind of ends up as like a happy family. It was just such a beautiful ending, so I definitely recommend this book. I think Penelope Douglas is now one of my favorite authors. I cannot wait to read more of her books.